Ben in Wyoming. You're on the Atheist Experience with Jamie and Jenna. How are you doing?
Ben?
Doing very good. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling.
Well, I want to convert Jennabelle back to the divine.
Oh, yeah? How are you going to do that?
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the Bible and a few of the teachings of the Bible, which I don't think is legit, actually happened. It's allegorical and metaphorical, but in there it'll teach you how to. Oh, so you agree that those teachings are true?
No, I agree with the part where you say it's metaphorical. Sorry. I'm feeling a little bit sassy because everyone wants to call into my show and convert my guest host.
Well, I feel like she was a recent believer, and she was right there on the fence and just jumped over, so I figured that's an easy one to sway over. You were probably pretty much concreted down with your feet. But.
Sure, I'm easy. Hit me.
So there is a frequency. I call your show and put on hold, and I can hear laughter and friendship and just a good vibe. And that's basically where God resides, in a higher vibration. And if you're in a lower vibration of, the basically sins of the Bible, as in trying to go after money, it talks about that repeatedly, going after, the sins of the world, of lust and all that, you get caught in a lower vibration and you can't communicate with God. And I believe you guys here, and I got to respect the hell out of your show. Matt has said so many great things, and you guys speak truth, and that in itself, speaking your truth, is a higher frequency and a vibration where you can connect. And
thank you for complimenting the show. Like and subscribe. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off in your vibrations there.
I do subscribe. I think your show is awesome. I was an atheist recently, and I want to always search. And in the Bible, it says you are supposed to be seeking. You seek the Holy Land. You seek the knowledge, and as you keep on going, you will be revealed to you. It is, and it tells you exactly how to do it.
Where?
Exactly how to find it. Well, in Matthew, maybe it's 6:33 or something like that, but in there it says you close the door and you seek within yourself. You're not supposed to be speaking with words. You go within a closed door and you go within yourself, not with all these words, because God knows exactly what you're doing. But you go with a higher vibration and you just speak there in peace and reverence, and you go and you seek God in your mind. He will reveal himself to you, and you just maintain a higher frequency.
Okay.
And when you go out of a higher frequency,
so
you go out of that.
Can I see if I'm following you?
Yeah, shoot it.
Okay, so it seems like you were an atheist and you've discovered that there's a difference in frequency, and it seems like when there's a higher frequency and there's love and compassion and energy, then that's where God is. But if it's not there, then that's where God's not, right? And so since here it sounds like it's a high frequency place, you think that God's here and I should find him, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely is there.
Okay, so how do you know that?
And having that, he's there. Absolutely.
So if you're not here, how do you know that?
Because he exists there in laughter. He exists there in that higher frequency. You guys.
But where are you getting that from?
Not the highest.
Is that
what's that?
Where are you getting that from?
You can just sense it. Can't you sense it yourself? You can have self-experiences where you feel in a better place, when you're in a better mood.
Hey, Ben, sorry, I don't mean to jump in here, and I know that sort of Jenna's on a track with this call, but I think what Jenna is sort of saying is, why would you attribute what you are sensing to be something like a God?
Right.
Right? Because I can tell when other people are happy, but that's not the same as Jesus.
Well, it says the same thing. In the Bible, all the time, it talks about love. It talks about respect. It talks about, humility, which you guys have towards each other. When you guys are living those principles and those principles of the Bible, which you guys are doing, you can almost sense it. I could sense it over being held on hold on the phone, hearing the laughter you guys have over there and the respect you have for each other, just the way you respected your co-host today. You are basically living the principles of the Bible in your own realm.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if you can witness and see for yourself that people can have that higher frequency and that happiness and that love without a God, then why do you think that there? God. Well, no, there's no God here.
Of course there is.
How do you know that, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, hold on. So you
love.
say because you hear laughter and because you
love.
hear people talking and getting along, that means there's a God. But I just don't understand. I sincerely don't understand where you're getting the God from.
The Bible says God is love. God is love. God is that, and you guys live in that.
Wait. So hold on. So are you defining God as love?
Yes, absolutely.
So you believe in love?
Absolutely.
Does this love have rules?
Well, when you go out of love, when you have hate, when you have selfishness, when you're looking at an individual and you think it's love and you're being selfish or you're, being judgmental, when you're,
So does this love have rules? Like, does it have rules like you have to go to church on Sunday or you have to get married in a certain way or you can't do this? Or like, does it have any rules?
It says right there in the Bible, you seek God within yourself.
So you defined God as love, though, and I'm asking if your God has any rules.
Of course he has rules. If you want to communicate with God, you need not to have selfishness. You need to follow the rules of God. God talks about exactly that. When you want to live in that
hold on, slow down, hold on. I'm trying to keep up. I'm not trying to stop you. I'm just trying to keep up with you. So I'm still on the God thing, and the definition of God is love. So I can agree. Let's say God is love. Okay, I believe in love, so I believe in that God. Okay, does that God have any rules for me that I have to do something or I'm not allowed to do something?
Yeah, when you want to go away from the love and be like jealous, say you have love towards an individual and you're being jealous of an individual, probably talking to the opposite sex and flirting with somebody, that is jealousy, and that is not the frequency of God.
Wait, talking to the opposite sex is jealousy?
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have jealous towards your partner who you have that love for, and you feel jealousy for whatever their person might be doing, that is not that frequency. That you are diminishing yourself from that frequency of God.
Hold on, Ben.
I'm really confused.
Yeah, so hold on, Ben, because I think I'm going to try and insert myself and redirect here. So what Jenna is trying to ask, or at least the thing that I think she's getting at that I'm also want to get at is, what does your God do? Right? Because I understand if God is love, then when you have negative emotions, that's not what you're doing. But does your God perform miracles or interact with the world or have a heaven and hell?
Well, because I can see how love performs miracles.
Well, I mean, in the colloquial sense of miracle.
So I'm trying to go with your definition of God equals love.
Yes.
Do we have to worship it?
No, I mean it's just there. It's a frequency. God is in the present. It is you decide every second whether to be in that frequency or not. If I decided to be jealous, you come out of that frequency of being with God, and that's where God exists, is in that frequency. He's in this ether and us communicating repeatedly with God. And if you decide to have a lower vibration, you come out of that frequency of God. You need to stay, that's where the word's at.
So real quick, Ben, is God also a being or person with thoughts?
I have no clue.
So when you're talking about speaking to God, do you have an idea that God understands the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the only way to really communicate.
So there is a mind.
Wait, so this messes with our definition of God that we're working with.
Remember, Ben, we're coming to this fresh, right? We sincerely, unless Jenna's a super genius, don't fully grasp what your concept of God is. So the general concept's like, right, if you feel jealousy is bad, right? We get the, negative emotion stuff.
You communicate and you hear God. This is how you hear him. If you stay in that higher frequency, in that higher vibration, which your show definitely does, it's not like you go in and out and you have to worship the Bible and show up to a religion, which I don't think religion is any demonstration of God. I think if you stay at the higher frequency and you maintain yourself at the higher frequency, you have certain things that appear to you and come to you in the form of miracles like synchronicities or...
So why are you defining God as love then?
Because that's what the Bible says. The Bible says...
Wait. But you're talking about frequencies and things that are not in the Bible.
Of course that it's in the Bible. It says in there you go in there and you close the door and you close your mind and you go in silence and you frequent and you talk to God.
So
that's
Ben,
where it is. The frequency.
Ben, real quick, I don't think that's exactly what Jenna was asking. I don't know if you want to try and rephrase the question or repeat it, but
what was she asking?
I don't actually remember what I asked.
I know you talk about frequency. That's exactly what God is.
When you're talking about, of course, it's in the Bible. Do you mean that higher and lower frequencies described as something like higher and lower frequencies are in the Bible?
Do you agree there's a frequency? Would you guys all agree that there's a frequency of love and a frequency of hate? And you
I don't know what that means.
So your statement is either.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, Ben. What's up?
You don't think you feel when there's a mood, when someone's upset, you can sense it? You don't feel like there's a sense and you can feel that?
Well,
a vibration between you guys?
Would you like me to answer?
Yeah.
So I think that I can sense if somebody is upset. I think that I can sense when I'm upset. I think that I experience emotions, and those can be caused by things, including myself, including things outside of myself. There are things that I experience, like love, like hate, like jealousy. There are all kinds of things that I experience.
Beautiful, beautiful thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
And that's God.
Why do you think that? Because I think of it as I experience emotions.
Well, I wish your callers can all try to maintain a high frequency, including yourselves, which I guarantee you guys do. And you'll see there's synchronicities, and that's God. Where things just happen. So
real quick, because now I need to insert myself, because it kind of sounds like you're skipping over the part where you answered Jenna's question entirely.
Okay.
I mean, Jenna's killing it, so I guess I'm just sort of saying, like, hey, referee, let's stay in the same lane.
Why do you say that these emotions that I'm experiencing equal a God?
Well, you are sensing. It proves there's a higher power when you can sense someone's emotions. I mean, the atheist
how does it prove that?
Well, because there's just a frequency out there of you can feel things, you can sense things, you can. So there is God out there, and there is a way to tie it into. And like I was trying to tell you before, the way you can interpret that there is such thing as a God and a higher power is when you maintain that higher frequency of love and those higher vibrations. So certain amazing things occur in our life.
Ben, sorry, let me just jump in here, because I think one of the things that's getting in the way of, I think, not just myself and Jenna, but the audience in general having a clear picture of what you think is, you use the words frequency and vibration in ways that I've only heard sort of people that believe in various forms of spiritualism and that place a value on things like sacred geometry use words like vibration and frequency. When you say vibration, what specifically do you mean? Like what does this word mean when you use it?
That is a pretty broad term, and I want to encompass almost all of it if possible. But I mean, it's
Well, okay, so
I'm concept. Let me just. This isn't trying to be specific, but this is kind of where I'm getting at, and that is the sun. Well, and we know, and just bear with me. Just get my thought out. So we know we get vitamin D from the sun, right?
Okay. So hold on, Ben, because we. So I get that it can be difficult even for words where we have a general understanding. It can be sort of difficult, particularly to provide a specific example. If you ask me for a specific example of a specific definition of democracy, it would take me a second.
I'm giving you one with the sun right now.
Well, yeah. So you're giving an example of the sun and to describe.
Talk about the sun.
So the thing I'm asking for examples of, real quick, Ben, because I want to make sure we're not talking past each other, is examples that will let us know how you're using the word frequency. Because for me, frequency is a number of occurrences in a specific time period.
Absolutely.
So like a frequency of 2 per second.
Yes. I mean, you got microwave frequency. You got all these different types of frequency. You have sound wave frequency, light wave frequency.
Right. So all we're saying is let's define our terms in a solid way so that we can actually be on the same page when we're using them.
All I'm saying is, along with all the other frequencies that we've all been told in our educational system with all these frequencies, microwaves, light, everything. There also is a frequency of God. And
Why do you say
God,
that?
Because I'm telling you, when you live in a higher frequency, certain things manifest that are beautiful.
Wait, so do you have to experience this higher frequency in order to believe in it?
No. Of course
Okay. Is there any requirement for anyone to believe in it?
not. No.
Okay.
But if you live in a higher frequency, great things manifest to you. When you live in a lower frequency, bad things manifest to you, just like it says in the Bible.
So you're just making all these claims, and I'm just wondering where you're getting this from.
Well,
like you're saying things like if you operate in a higher frequency. Well, first of all, I don't know how you can tell if anybody's operating in a high or low frequency before you even get to then you know this. Like, let's stop there before we go on to what you know when you're on a high frequency. Let's start with, how do we know what frequency is?
I'll tell you right here.
Okay.
The higher frequencies are places of love, respect, humility, having temperance, not overindulging, all the...
So
and
happy
not
places
in the other sense of like gluttony, lust, being sloth, having anger.
Okay. So we get the general concept of what you're saying. So hold on. So the way that you're using the word frequency, it in no way describes like generic uses of the word frequency, right? So when you say frequency is when you're in higher places, like et cetera. So it means when you are living well or living in a good Weltanschauung, or like a view of the world, when you're happy, when you're experiencing, good vibes in the colloquial sense of vibes, meaning like feelings.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And great things will happen right there. And I think you guys have good vibes. You guys have great lives, and that's because you don't live those lives of desire.
You don't know my life, but
laziness.
So real quick, because what it sounds like you're saying, if I sort of translate the words that you're using, and I don't mean to cut across the where you were going, Jenna, but it sounds like what you're saying, given the words you were using, that if you're talking about being at a level of higher frequency, good things will happen and you'll have good vibes. Sounds like if you live positively and live well, you will have a good life.
Right?
Is that the case?
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with a God, though?
It just demonstrates to me the people, and I think this is across the board, the people who live in the sins in the lower frequencies, 100% will have a terrible life and will be down and will not have success, regardless of who you are. If you are in those frequencies, your life will be destructive, and you'll be living in hell, which basically is our life. You live, and that's what it is. That's what the Bible talks. You will live in hell. But if you live in the higher frequencies, you will be living in heaven. You will be living in God's life.
So I'm living in heaven even though I don't believe in a God?
Of course.
So then why believe in a God?
That's what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says
but if I don't
that.
believe in a God and I can still live in heaven, then why should I believe in a God?
I'm not saying you have to believe in a God.
Then why are you calling the show?
That just represents...
Trying to deconvert me.
I'm showing you a representation and a specific example, 100% foolproof.
To get me to believe into a God, correct?
You live in a higher vibration.
All right.
Do you want me to believe in a God?
Like the Bible says. I want you to live your life, and however you want to live it.
That's what I'm doing.
That's all I want you.
So Ben, sorry, now I'm confused because you called in and you said, I want to... I'm not sure. Convert Jenna. Or you want to...
In the divine, that there is a God.
So
I wanted to...
Just to be clear...
example, foolproof way
so now we sort of have two questions, or at least I have a second question after the obvious one. So, well, here, we'll skip to this one. You called in with the intention of converting Jenna. Did you think about the way of presenting your beliefs so that they would be persuasive?
I think I did that. I proved that there's such thing as a divine.
So I don't think that you did. I mean, I know that you didn't.
That you live in a higher frequency, that you will have good things happen to you.
I agree that I'm living.
Yeah. And I'll go further. I think she's killing it, but she doesn't believe in a God. So when you used the word convert, did you mean persuade Jenna to believe that there is a divine?
I still don't believe it.
Divine.
Yeah.
So would you agree with me that anyone lives in those lower frequencies of those 7 sins, that your life will be hell?
No.
No.
Can you show me someone who lives in those 7 sins whose life is out of hell. I don't think there's an individual that exists. That
Right here, right here, right here.
So,
Right here.
Who, you?
Yes, me.
You live in the seventh sense?
Yes.
Of gluttony, you overeat,
Yes.
you indulge yourself, you live in desire of other people. And you're
Yes. I sin every fucking day.
I mean, to a point of just gluttony?
Yes. How many times do I have to say it? Yes.
And you still have
Happiness
still
and
feel like you
love
live in a
and
higher
compassion,
frequency of
and I
laughter and
love
friendship all
living
the
without
time.
God.
But I'm saying you feel like you're out of friendship and love
Nope.
and all that.
I'm actually happier than I've ever been in my. Actually, I'm happier than I ever believed I possibly could be.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is-
So why
that
should
is
I believe in a God if I can be this happy without it?
That's a good. You got me stumped because I thought I could prove you wrong, and I stand corrected.
Hey, thank you for being honest.
yeah. You are the best caller in the show so far, at least.
Yeah.
That's nice to be the first one.
Yeah.
So so cool. Thank you so much for calling. I'm still not converted, but call again. Maybe we can try again.
Yeah. That, and if you use Reddit, I feel like there's a lot of back and forth that can go on here. And we're also on Facebook.
Nice talking to you, Ben. Thank
subscribe.
you.
Yeah.